A budding young writer from Queensland, Australia is making waves with his first novel, which he has written at just 15 years old. Abhiraj Sarmah, despite being born in England and raised in Australia, has always loved Indian culture, religion, history and mythology that surrounded him through his roots in Assam. Series such as the Shiva Trilogy by Amish Tripathi and Harappa by Vineet Bajpai have greatly influenced his passion for Indian myth and folklore, prompting the creation of his first novella, Kalki the 10th Avatar The Shambhala Secret. Besides his writing, he is equally passionate about music, debating and public speaking. Professionally, he wants to become a specialist doctor, but at the same time, he also aspires to be an established author. Well, Northeast Live caught up with the budding writer to know more about his debut novel, future plans and more. Take a look.
Today we have got a very special guest with us, Abhiraj Sarmah, who is just 15 years old and has already written a novel. So, Abhiraj, as far as I know, you were born in England, London. Then you moved to Australia. Right now you're in the 11th standard. They're studying there. And you probably want to go into medical science.
Yes.
So, how do you find yourself rooted in Indian culture, mythology, or culture, despite being far away from the land?
Well, I found that my parents were a large part of why I was rooted to my culture. In Australia, we do have a few Hindu temples, and we have pundits who come to our houses to do pujas, and that was, you could say, my first introduction to the religion. Through that, my parents tried to show us what our culture is all about, and yeah, I would ask questions to them, they would respond, and through that it was just a mutual exchange of information until I could uncover more about the culture.
Well, tell us about the research you have done for this book, the book titled Kalki, the 10th Avatar, The Shambhala Secret, right? So, how did you go ahead with your research? What have you studied to write this book?
So my research phase of writing started with reading a few scriptures. First, I discovered the Bhagavad Gita, and I read a few verses from that book, and it was really, really thought-provoking, and it introduced me to a lot of the Hindu philosophies. Then I moved into Puranic literature. I read the Kalki Purana, which was very good for building my character and certain plot points that I needed to make sure was in the book. I also watched the debates and discussions of many gurus on the internet, which you can find a lot of nowadays. And their talks about the religion and their thoughts about the religion was very good for me to gather information from some of the most experienced individuals with the faith. I also read a lot of, you could say, fiction books, but were grounded in that culture, and it displayed that religion very well, so I could extract that information from those books and use it in my own.
Well, balancing creativity and mythology sounds tricky. How do you balance it, the process?
Well, obviously, when I'm trying to refer to different mythological events and personas, I have to make sure that I hit a few critical plot points. Say for Kalki, I need to get his name of his mother and name of his father right. I need to get where he's going to be born. However, to write a story, you need to take a few creative liberties. So that's what I did in my novel. I created a base for Kalki, this mythological persona, but then furthered his story by introducing my own takes and basically stretching out his story into something that I could use for people to enjoy.
What message or inspiration you'd like to give to budding young authors or debut authors who are coming up like you?
Well, I'll just say that if you get an idea in your head and it pops up and it's like a nagging feeling, pursue the idea. Don't leave it and let it fester. Because if you don't pursue that opportunity, you'll never write. And also, if you're going to write, you need to do your research. That's what I discovered. Originally, I just got into the writing and didn't consult any sources. But quickly, that story fell short. So I realized that I needed to research and I needed to get a firm grasp of what I wanted to do. Then I could create a story out of that.
Thank you very much.